And we welcome you back to the Meadowlands. I'm Pat Scanlon along with Rob Kennedy. NJN's coverage of the boys Tournament of Champions final. The St. Anthony Friars and the Middle Township Panthers. Right now for today's starting lineups, let's go to public address announcer Dom Elijah.
Now let's meet the starters for the Tournament of Champions boys final between the Panthers of Middle Township 30-2 and the Friars of St. Anthony 27-1. At forward for Middle Township, a 6'3" senior, number 23, Stefano Anderson. At forward for St. Anthony, a 6'3" senior, number 3, LaMarr Curry. The other forward for Middle Township, a 6'2" junior, number 40, Mike Bennett. The other forward for St. Anthony is 6'5" senior, number 44, Jalil Roberts. At center for Middle Township, a 6'6" senior, number 22, Billy Reese. At center for St. Anthony, a 6'8" senior, number 42, Roshown McLeod. At guard for Middle Township, a 6'2" sophomore, number 25, Paul Bennett. At guard for St. Anthony, a 5'7" senior, number 5, Halim Abdullah. The other guard for Middle Township, a 6'5" junior, number 44, LaMarr Greer. The other guard for St. Anthony, a 6' junior, number 10, Carlos Cueto. Coach of Middle Township.
Middle Township Panthers are coached by Tom Faracco. They are the number 3 seed in the Tournament of Champions. And for the St. Anthony Friars, Bob Hurley. They were the number 1 seed and the parochial B champions. Rob, let's take a look at your keys today, beginning for the Middle Township Panthers.
First thing they need to do is initiate offense. St. Anthony's does such a great job defensively. Sometimes it's difficult to get into your offense. And then the second thing is they need big numbers out of Anderson and Greer out of their backcourt.
Of course, Bob Hurley and the Friars losing just 1 game. And his keys today.
They want to pressure Greer. As good a player as he is, if he has one weakness, it's with his ball handling. And then the second thing is they want to control the backboards. They have a size advantage. They need to try and take care of that on the backboards.
Our referees today, Frank Partica, Lou DeGeorge, and Jerome Dunn. The alternate is Bill Tierney, a 3-man crew for the Tournament of Champions final. The 5th TFC championship. And we are underway. It's controlled by Middle Township, and this is LaMarr Greer. You expect to see him with the ball all afternoon. Here's Reese, number 22. He looks inside. Greer to Reese. Breaks the seal.
And he's able to look over the defense to match up with Abdullah guarding him. He's got a good 3 to 4, maybe even 6 inches over him. He uses that size to see the floor.
Halim Abdullah for 3, and the point guard knocks it down to give the Friars a 3-2 lead.
Moore, for his playmaking ability, steps up and knocks down the 3. Only at 28% on the season from behind the line.
Let's talk about Greer, a 6'5", 205-pound junior.
He's a terrific player. He's the full package, as we said in the open, averaging triple-doubles. He's that versatile of a player.
And St. Anthony playing man-to-man. Halim Abdullah at 5'7", 145. So he's giving away 10 inches.
Yeah, I started it at 2. I worked my way up to 6. As you said, probably more like 10 inches.
Off glass, the floater, Carlos Cueto. Friars lead 5-4.
Here's that pressure. As we mentioned, they're going to try and get up and force LaMarr Greer to handle the ball against that pressure for 32 minutes.
Abdullah gambled. Greer cashed in the 3. He already has 5 points, and it's a 2-point Middle Township lead.
He's such a smooth player. Handles the ball, uses his size, gets in and bangs around. He's the full package.
The baseline, Curry. Curry ties it at 7. Heating it up early.
Both teams come out on fire. LaMarr Curry overshadowed on this team. If he was playing for somebody else, he'd be a star, but he fits in perfectly as that role player for St. Anthony.
Greer in low post, tipped up by Reese, no good, and Abdullah with the rebound. Curry inside, Roshown McLeod, the 6'8" senior who plays the center position, if you will, for the Friars. Here's Stefano Anderson, the force that comes to Bennett, and Paul Bennett can't collect a second opportunity. Curry, one shot, no, jump ball. And the possession arrow favors the St. Anthony Friars. First substitution here is Duncan McNeil, number 33, a 6'4" junior.
For Mike Bennett.
He comes in for Mike Bennett. Roshown McLeod for three, strong, he'll try one more time, stops, pops, no good. And Curry, ball for the foul. It's the first of the game. Now Bob Hurley is going to have the Friars pick up full court, man-to-man.
Given any opportunity off made baskets or dead ball, they'll pick up full court. You see here a little trap on Anderson. They'll try and get the ball out of his hands.
Paul Bennett breaks the trap, gets it across half court. Go back to Greer. Talked to Tom Faracco about Greer. He says he just has such great court awareness. He says, I say that about him, and I say he also averages a triple-double. That's about all you have to know about the junior.
Stefano Anderson maneuvering on the baseline. An excellent one-on-one player. Loves to put it to the floor and create.
Over the back, LaMarr Curry. That's two on Curry. Hurley going to the bench quickly for substitutions. Three Friars coming into the ball game. 15 is Justin Fredericks. 14, Ross Bethea. And number 11 is Billy Lovett.
Hurley going to the bench a little earlier than usual. One of the reasons the back-to-back games, difficult game against Seton Hall Prep. He wants to make sure he keeps fresh legs in the game.
14 Ross Bethea.
There's Greer. Looked inside, deflected out of bounds. That was Carlos Cueto getting a hand on the pass. Let's talk about Middle Township for a moment, Rob. They're without probably their third best player, Junie Shelton, who averages 14 points a game. He's serving the second game of a 2-game suspension for punching a player in the post-game handshakes against Perth Amboy Tech. Both players got a little involved, and Junie Shelton will miss the second game in a row now. But the Panthers have played that to their advantage, according to Tom Faracco. He said, hey, we feel we're undermanned, and that gives us the underdog philosophy, and we're fighting for our lives. There's a foul, and it's an offensive foul.
Well, against Irvington, as you said, they use that as a motivating factor, and Paul Bennett, who we see there called for the charge, had his first start on the varsity level and played a very good game, a very solid game.
Carlos Cueto walks it up. 2-point ball game here in the first quarter. Roberts from the baseline, short, rebounded by Greer. Stolen, flicked away by Roberts. This is Cueto. Soft touch, no. Inside, and a foul as Justin Fredericks collected the offensive rebound. It goes on Paul Bennett. I believe that's 2 on Bennett. Tom Faracco plays 8 people. Doesn't want to see Bennett get in foul trouble early.
Nice pump fake there by Fredericks. Get the first man off the floor, then showing you body control to pick up the foul.
Tom Faracco adjusting the tie.
Taking off the penny. He'll be running around there on the sidelines. Doesn't want to be tied down there. Loosens the tie up. Justin Fredericks knocks down the second attempt.
Friars lead by 3, 10-7. Justin Fredericks, a 6'3" junior. Very versatile player.
Little full court zone pressure there. Little 2-2-1. Mixed it up. Forced the turnover on Middle Township.
So Tom Faracco calls timeout with 3:34 left in the first quarter. The Panthers trail the Friars by 3. Welcome back to our Tournament of Champions coverage. Past boys winners, St. Anthony in 89 and 91. Luther Wright and the Elizabeth Minutemen won it in 1990, and Shawnee won it last year in 92. Shawnee upset by Irvington as we're underway with 3:28 left here in the first quarter. Pat Scanlon, Rob Kennedy. That shot off the front of the rim for Billy Lovett. St. Anthony 4 of 9 from the field for 44%, now 4 of 10, and Middle Township 43%, 3 of 7 from the floor. They find Greer with the ball. Now we should tell people that Stefano Anderson and Greer hook up each game for a couple of alley-oops. That's their trademark play, and that was one of the things that Bob Hurley wanted to take away from the Panthers today. Keep an eye on Anderson, who likes to set up on the wing and on a signal break for the basket as the Panthers turn it over on a traveling violation.
They want to take away the easy basket, and they also don't want to allow Middle Township to get fired up and get going emotionally. That alley-oop pass is something that they look for quite often, and it usually keys a run.
4 turnovers for Middle Township to just 1 by St. Anthony so far. Cueto in the corner. Roberts. He swing. Lovett. Tough shot for Billy Lovett.
Reminds me a lot of David Kane, the senior guard from St. John's. Penetrates, not a great outside shooter, but an underrated outside shooter. Talk about outside shooters, though. LaMarr Greer, as good as they come.
Already with 7 points, 7 of the 9 for the Panthers. They lead by 3.
And so often he uses his size to get himself in a position where he can shoot over the defender.
Roberts, not that time. Jalil Roberts, who shoots 40% from beyond the three-point arc. Greer, inside, stolen. Roshown McLeod staying at home. There's Roberts to Lovett for 2. Billy Lovett with 4 points. He averages 5 a contest.
Pretty feed by Jalil Roberts out in transition. Led to the easy bucket for Lovett.
Lovett had a big role in the Parochial B championship game. He was the most valuable player, scoring 16 points as the Friars beat St. Augustine. Now out high, it's Lovett picking up the foul, his first. Justin Fredericks comes back in. Here's Halim Abdullah at the point. He replaces Carlos Cueto. So it is Lovett on Greer for now.
It gives him a little bit better size than Abdullah on that matchup.
Billy Reese. Strong, and Jalil Roberts thought he had a good chance at a charging call.
A lot of contact, but Roberts a little bit too deep, almost under the basket. A lot of times you won't get that call. If you're a little bit further out, you'll get it, but as closer to the basket you get, the less likely you'll get that call.
There's McLeod in the corner. It's good by Justin Fredericks, an underrated junior, being recruited by a number of MAC teams. Stefano Anderson, the shot was deflected. Mike Bennett, up and good. Paul and Mike, the brothers for Middle Township. Paul wearing 25 and Mike wearing number 40. Tom Faracco is in a defensive stance across the way.
So I had to loosen up that tie.
18 seconds left. There's your time. Lower left portion of your screen here in the first quarter. Friars with the ball in a 3-point lead. Abdullah. Here's Lovett. Inside, Roshown McLeod. No. One more time. Justin Fredericks. And a whistle inside. It's going to go on Anderson. And that is the first on Stefano.
Good execution down the stretch by St. Anthony's. They get the ball into Roshown McLeod's hands on the low block. The shot they want to try and end the first half. He misses it. But Fredericks on the offensive rebound. was able to keep it alive, regain possession, and then was fouled. So with 0.7 seconds left to go in the first quarter, he's on the line for 2.
Tom Faracco takes out Anderson, lest he commit a silly foul with 0.7 left. And Justin Fredericks now with 4 points, 2 rebounds.
He's the type of kid, so many guys in St. Anthony's programs, because of the overall depth, he's a little bit overshadowed right now as a junior, but look for a breakthrough year next year from Justin Fredericks. He's a fine player.
Vance Cathcart, number 41, in for Middle Township. And that's the end of the first quarter of play. The boys' Tournament of Champions final. And it's St. Anthony leading Middle Township 18-13. Welcome back to NJN's coverage of the Tournament of Champions. As we get underway here in the second quarter, it's St. Anthony leading Middle Township 18-13. Panthers will start with the ball as Tom Faracco discusses things with LaMarr Greer. LaMarr Greer, who has been the story for the Panthers in the first quarter with 7 points. Billy Reese had 4. For the Friars, Fredericks off the bench with 5 to lead the way. St. Anthony shooting should be around 44%, and Middle Township at 50% for the first quarter. There's the miss from the baseline for Mike Bennett. Abdullah at the point for St. Anthony. Excellent playmaker, not without some offensive skills, but noted more for his dishes. Inside, there's 2 for Roshown McLeod.
And that's the matchup that Middle Township doesn't really have an answer for down in the low post. If they can isolate McLeod inside, it's problems.
Trying to hook up inside the turnover as Mike Bennett couldn't collect the pass. Talk about the matchup that Middle Township doesn't want. Halim Abdullah, Bob Hurley tells me he's an excellent playmaker, but we don't look for him for any offense. He's already got 5 points. He boasts a 3-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio, however. Here's a block by McLeod. Friars on the move. They want to get this into an up-tempo game. Inside, and Roshown McLeod is fouled.
Abdullah showing you his playmaking ability, his ability to see the floor, throwing it ahead to a breaking Roshown McLeod. That's one of the reasons why he has already signed to play his college basketball next year at Northeastern.
Mike Bennett got the personal foul, and Tom Faracco will take a quick timeout. 6:35 left in the second quarter. It's the St. Anthony Friars leading Middle Township 22-13. We'll be back after this. Halim Abdullah with 5 points already, the senior, taking advantage here.
Using his quickness, a little isolation, inside hand change, blows right by him, uses his quickness, then is able to finish off the layup. As you mentioned, more so a playmaker, but if you're able to penetrate that deep, that's an easy 2.
And nice when you can penetrate and finish, as he did. Friars leading 22-13 with the ball. As Carlos Cueto handles outside. Here's McLeod. Back to Abdullah. He said, hey, it's going to be my day for offense, but he misses the 3. Rebounded by Justin Fredericks. Cueto, good ball fake. Inside look, no one there. Roshown McLeod squared up to make the rebound and missed the pass.
When he saw Carlos leave the floor, he thought it was a shot attempt. He turned to rebound and box out. Cato needs to step up and take that shot.
Stefano Anderson, offensive foul. And that is 2 on Anderson.
And he's susceptible to that. He loves to put the ball to the floor. Sometimes he can get out of control trying to force things. St. Anthony stepped in, picked up the charge.
St. Anthony outscoring Middle Township 4-0 here in the second quarter. Cueto, this time he'll take it. He's off. Anderson may have got a piece of that one.
Yeah, nice defense by Anderson to come out and challenge the shot and get a piece of it.
LaMarr Greer double pumps and scores.
And again, penetrating into the lane and shooting over the defender.
Already with 9 points, LaMarr Greer. From the baseline, that's Lance Bethea. Bethea averaging just 1.5 a game. Anderson the other way, no. Friars push it up quickly with numbers, 4 on 2. And Justin Fredericks traveled with the ball.
Needs to go right up with that. Felt the defensive pressure, tried to pump fake, didn't get him out. If you don't get him in the air right away, you've got to swing the ball back out. Got caught shuffling his feet.
Cueto will sit down.
Really love it back in the game, and he'll get right back up on Stefano Anderson. He did a real good job defensively against him in the first quarter.
Anderson can't get it to go down. Here's Abdullah. Bounce pass. Intercepted nearly. Bethea, no. And here's Greer on the rebound. St. Anthony now trapping on LaMarr Greer. Here's that mismatch we talked about. LaMarr Greer against Halim Abdullah. Spinning to the basket. Duncan McNeil. No good. Now Lovett handling the ball in the corner. Abdullah. 3-point basket. 8 points for Halim Abdullah. And the Friars open up a 12-point lead here in the second quarter. Abdullah, a 26% three-point shooter. Now open from the baseline. Stefano Anderson, no. Up and in. Duncan McNeil.
And that's Stefano Anderson's shot there on the wing at the end of the break. Just unable to get it down so far tonight.
Jalil Roberts with the left hand. No. Kept alive. McLeod inside for 2. Roshown McLeod, who will play for St. John's next year with 6 points here in the first half.
Right place at the right time on that play.
Anderson guarded by Roberts.
There's a little back screen trying to get the alley-oop. Well guarded by St. Anthony's.
Friars have long prided themselves on being able to shut down an opponent defensively. Anderson for 3. No. Rebounded by Roberts, and Roberts is fouled by Paul Bennett. And that looks like 3 on Paul Bennett.
Part of being such a good defensive team is once the shot goes up, making sure that you're able to clear the backboard. St. Anthony's has been able to do that so far here in the first half.
Paul Bennett playing with 3 fouls, 3 minutes left here in the second quarter.
Middle Township showing a little pressure defense. St. Anthony's handling it.
Abdullah inside. Nice bounce pass to Roshown McLeod. You can see why at one point he was at 71% from the field this season. Now at just under 67%. That's a St. Anthony field goal percentage record.
Well, he's a good scorer inside, and he also has the benefit of having a couple great guards with him. As they go 0 for 1 on the first alley-oop, it was there. Stefano Anderson misses the dunk.
And Stefano Anderson is now 0 for 7 from the field.
And no easier shot of those 7 misses than on the last one. He just needs to regroup, get himself going.
There's the alley-oop that was an alley-oops.
We see here, it looks like it's a shot attempt, but that was not. That was by design. Anderson flying through the lane, got a little bit of ahead of himself. The ball behind his head, and he missed the dunk.
So Roshown McLeod at the line to shoot 2. Good size at 6'8".
Good size, great ball handling skills. He plays in the post right now for St. Anthony's, obviously the biggest guy on his team. But at the next level at St. John's, he's very capable of playing facing the bucket.
Bob Hurley says he's very graceful for a 6'8", almost 200-pound player.
And he's one of those St. Anthony's players in the same mold as Terry DeHare. We talked about Justin Fredericks before, who really exploded onto the scene after his junior year in the AAU events, at the summer camps, and then also in his senior season.
9 points for Roshown McLeod with 2:10 left here in the first half. Middle Township, good look inside, and Billy Reese finishes off the play.
Real good ball movement and execution against the trapping defense.
The other way, Abdullah to McLeod.
Such a nice touch once he gets the ball around the basket. Great hands, he has 11.
Here's the steal, Abdullah. Cueto may have got away with one. Up and in for Roshown McLeod. He's lighting it up with 13 points here in the first half. And it's all Friars, 36-19. Near steal by Curry, he gets it. McLeod collects to Cueto, trying to go by himself. 4 players touch the ball, and Jalil Roberts makes the layup for a 38-19 lead.
Middle Township needs to settle down. Couple too many turnovers. They don't want this an up and down game.
LaMarr Greer fouled inside. He'll go to the line for 2.
Even though they've had tremendous success throughout the season in an up-tempo situation, especially with the athletic guards, LaMarr Greer with the ball and Stefano Anderson getting out on the wing, St. Anthony's just has too much depth and too many players to get in an up-and-down game.
LaMarr Greer, 4 of 7 from the field, now with 10 points and 3 rebounds. This Middle Township team did not get a bye as St. Anthony and Irvington did in the quarterfinals. So this is their 3rd game of the Tournament of Champions. They had to beat Perth Amboy Tech and then Irvington. So 3 games, but fortunately the school board allowing the team to stay in a hotel the last 3 nights to keep them rested. But as Jalil Roberts knocks one down, but that has to help a little bit because it could be a long way between the Rutgers, where the quarters and semis were played, and Cape May County Courthouse.
Oops, an inadvertent whistle there. Good call by the official. He was almost going to call a foul there. The whistle blew. Sometimes guys will come in and finish that call off. Nice judgment there, not calling that foul. As you mentioned too, the fact of having to play 3 games, no team other than a 1 or 2 seed in the Tournament of Champions on the boys side, meaning a team who had a bye in the first round, has ever won the Tournament of Champions.
Showtime, and it's Cueto. Carlos Cueto from Jalil Roberts. Cueto now with 4 points. 42-20, the Friars with 25 seconds left.
So often it's been the other way around. Cueto to Roberts, but on that play, Roberts to Cueto.
Paul Bennett picks up his 4th personal.
That's what St. Anthony's does to you offensively. It's so hard to even get initiated into your offense. They get up and put such defensive pressure on you that sometimes you find yourself helpless, not even able to get anything going.
We'll shoot 1+1.
So Bennett on the bench with 4. Carlos Cueto shooting 1 and the bonus. Turnovers, a telling statistic here in the first half. Middle Township with 11 to 3 for the Friars. Head of the field, McNeil. Off to Mike Bennett. Now 3 seconds left. LaMarr Greer, he's the one you want to shoot it, and he nails a 3-point basket at the buzzer. LaMarr Greer with 13 points in the first half, but it's St. Anthony leading Middle Township 42-23 in our boys Tournament of Champions final. We'll be back with our halftime festivities right after this. Welcome back to the Tournament of Champions final. Bob Hurley likes what he sees on the first half stats. His Friars lead Middle Township 42-23. He was able to get some offensive production from his point guard Halim Abdullah. Had a big first half. Demonstrated the ability to knock down the three-point shot.
Anytime they get offensive production from the point standpoint from him, it's a bonus. And then the big key all during the first half was the inside play of Roshown McLeod. He has 13.
For Middle Township, it has been all LaMarr Greer. Greer driving to the hoop, then finishing the half with a three-point basket. And it is Greer with 13 points.
He showed you why he's one of the top juniors in the state of New Jersey, but he needs help. He's not going to be able to do it himself. Stefano Anderson, 0 for 7 and held scoreless in the first half. If Middle Township's going to get back into this game, he needs to step it up offensively.
Top guns, LaMarr Greer, 5 of 8 for 13 points. Roshown McLeod. Well, you see why that field goal percentage is almost 70% for the year. 6 of 7, 13 points, 6 rebounds in the first half. So it's been McLeod and Abdullah. McLeod with 13, Abdullah with 8 for the Friars. They've also got 5 points off the bench from Justin Fredericks. And for Middle Township, all Greer, Billy Reese chipping in with 6 points. Mike Bennett with just 2 points, and Duncan McNeil also with 2 points. Checking our team statistics. Field goal percentage for St. Anthony jumps right out at you at 58%.
And a lot of those are high percentage shots caused off their turnovers. They forced 11 turnovers and got out in transition for easy baskets.
All right, we'll take a break and come back with third quarter action from the Boys Tournament of Champions final, where the Friars are trying to win their third TFC crown. Our third quarter about to get underway as the St. Anthony Friars and Middle Township Panthers vie for the Tournament of Champions crown. I'm Pat Scanlon along with Rob Kennedy. You're enjoying things on NJN. Well, the Friars trying to steal a page from the Middle Township book with the alley-oop. This too is an alley-oops.
They missed the attempt, diagrammed out of the halftime, trying to get the easy bucket, but as you mentioned, another alley-oops.
On the baseline, this is Mike Bennett. Halim Abdullah with the steal, and there's what you talk about, Rob. Don't throw it back toward the other team's basket. At least throw it toward your basket.
They play so smart. Halim Abdullah, a senior, been playing in the program for 4 years. He shows you his court savvy.
Here's the steal by the Friars. It's Jalil Roberts. St. Anthony coming up with the Panther turnover. Carlos Cueta. Now Roberts. Abdullah trying to hit a cutting Jamar Curry through the paint. Here's Curry. He's a cousin of Jerry Walker's. And he knocks it down from the baseline. Jamar Curry, a 6'3" junior. Probably the best athlete on the St. Anthony team, according to Bob Hurley. Other end, unable to answer. Duncan McNeil getting the start here in the second half.
Throughout the evening, it's been one and done for Middle Township. St. Anthony's controlling the backboard. Traveling
the call on Roberts. Bob Hurley gets up on that one. Painful for Hurley.
Didn't agree with that call. Looked like it was a good pump fake. So many times, though, once you get a guy in the air and you take your time getting back up, they'll make that call even if you don't shuffle your feet.
LaMarr Greer
just throws right over the double team using his size.
Blocking foul as Stefano Anderson bangs in to Roshown McLeod. That is 2 on McLeod. Roshown McLeod has played just 3 years of basketball at St. Anthony for Bob Hurley.
Scary almost, isn't it?
Yeah, he missed a lot of his sophomore year with migraine headaches.
It's one of the reasons why it's taken a while for him to explode onto the scene. But once he has really made his mark. He's going to be an even better player at the next level. As good as he was in high school, he's going to be that much better at St. John's and his career beyond, because he certainly has the potential to be playing well after his college days.
McNeil with the block. And it will be St. Anthony balls. Changed the call.
Well, he had
moment of indecision.
He had it white the whole way. He just couldn't figure out which way white team was going. So it was a good call. He was just looking for some help to try and figure out which way St. Anthony's was headed.
There's Jalil Roberts, a three-pointer. Jalil Roberts is going to make Stu Jackson and the Wisconsin Badgers very happy next year as he'll play in the Big Ten, or is it the Big 11? As Stefano Anderson finally gets on the board with 5:46 left in the third quarter, his first basket.
That's not something that just happens. That's something you've got to work on. Those two guys have great instincts for what one another are doing to be able to hook up for that alley-oop.
Anderson with the rebound brings it the other way for the Panthers of Middle Township.
They've only been playing together on the same team for a year as LaMarr Greer transferred into Middle Township.
There's the three-point basket, so Stefano Anderson is going to work on that 23-point-a-game average in a hurry. He now has 5. 20-point lead, but Panthers have to get back. Going inside, Roshown McLeod. A rare miss inside. Now here comes Roberts with the left. Whoa, rebounded. Duncan McLeod. There's Greer. Foul before the shot is Mike Bennett.
Well, they call a illegal screen and a clear out on that by Billy Reese. That'll get Tom Ferracco a little bit heated there on the sideline. He tried to clear a path to the bucket. He's called for the offensive foul.
The first on Billy Reese. 14 turnovers for Middle Township, 4 for the Friars.
Jalil Roberts, the lefty. So many times left-handed guys are such scorers. He is too. He can shoot the ball from the outside, but he's really at home once he's going to the goal.
Halim Abdullah forcing the pressure. And LaMarr Greer, and there's a nice scene. You see Abdullah going over to Greer saying, hey, sorry about that. It's going for the loose ball. So Middle Township will maintain possession with 4:45 left in the third quarter. St. Anthony by 22. There's Roberts with the rebound. Quickly, Cueto goes behind the back, stolen by Greer, and with that, as he went behind the back, so did Bob Hurley. He gets 3 subs up off the bench like that.
Exactly, right with his left hand, he just spun right behind his back. Cueto got a little carried away on the baseline there in transition.
He's up by 22, but he doesn't care. There's Roshown McLeod, Jalil Roberts, and Carlos Cueto.
Coach literally coaches every possession. This team has been on a mission since last year when they were upset by a fine Marist High School team and Mike Leonardo in the semifinals of the Parochial B State Championship. Since that point, his team has been focused the entire time for this moment here, trying to get back to the Tournament of Champions final and come up with a win.
Love it to Abdullah. That one drew rain here at the Meadowlands. It's 52-27. Talk about a high arcing shot for Halim Abdullah.
I tell you what, if we were in the Jersey City Armory, that would have hit the roof. That one wouldn't have counted. That would have hit the rafters there. Either there or a White Eagle. No way that would have gone in.
No way, a White Eagle. There's no way. And there's a foul the other way as the Middle Township Panthers unable to hook up on that alley-oop. Billy Lovett is in now for the Friars, along with Lance Bethea, 14, and
Second team foul.
Justin Fredericks, number 15. Here's Lovett at the line.
O'Neill is in the game, replacing Mike Bennett.
It's been the defense throughout for St. Anthony's, forcing 15 turnovers. They've been able to convert those out in the break, finishing them off. Big disparity.
Lovett missing the first of 2. He's got 4 points, 2 of 3 from the field. Looking to his left. Bob Hurley gets him going at the free throw line. Whatever Bob said, it worked.
53-27.
Well, sometimes you're playing in the Meadowlands, although St. Anthony's plays all over the place. Heck, they only had 3 home games all season, but a little bit different as far as the backdrop here in the Meadowlands. Maybe one of the reasons why he didn't draw iron on that first foul shot.
Duncan McNeil now with 4 points.
It's 53-29.
Abdullah from the baseline. No. Rebounded inside. Give it off and score it for Jamar Curry as he was fed by Justin Fredericks.
A pretty feed from Fredericks.
6 points now for Curry. He's the 3rd leading scorer on this St. Anthony Friar team. Here's Greer. Soft off the glass for 2.
Nice play, too. You see him look the man away, too, as if he was going to pass it off to the right. Gets it up off the glass for 2.
Love it. Clear lane. He'll take it. Miss it. But it's up and in. Lance Bethea. Good tip in. By the 5'11 junior.
57-31.
Back the other way. Jason O'Neal.
Looked like Bethea stood in there and picked up the charge, but no call, so Middle Township will inbound.
Middle Township averaged 84 points a game, and their margin of victory going into the state championships was 27.6 points a win. There's a dunk by Duncan. Duncan McNeil with 6.
As we mentioned, they've had a lot of success in the transition game, especially with the ball in LaMarr Greer's hands and Stefano Anderson running the wings. The problem with St. Anthony's, though, is they just run so many players at you. If you're going to get in an up and down game, their depth is going to take over.
And there's Abdullah inside to Curry, who now has 8 points.
I mean, some teams, if you stop 1 or 2 scores, you're in good shape. With St. Anthony's, you end up stopping at Jalil Roberts, and all of a sudden, Halim Abdullah steps up and knocks down shots. Roshown McLeod, Jamar Curry. You can't just shut down 1 or 2 guys when you're playing St. Anthony.
Fredericks to Curry. No, but he's fouled. Foul will go on Duncan McNeil. Tom Fracco helping the Panthers win their first ever Group 2 state championship with a win over Hillside, 81-59. They'd lost to Hillside in 2 previous meetings in the finals, in 90 and 92. Chris Faracco coached John Leahy, who plays for the Seton Hall Pirates, and as Bob Hurley had a little bit to do with the career of Seton Hall Pirate Danny Hurley. And Jerry Walker and Terry DeHare.
Both those guys roaming around in the building here somewhere today. I'm sure they're sitting together by now. John may have left, though, because Danny's probably getting on him a little bit as his alma mater out to a big lead here in the second half.
60-35.
So the Friars by 25 with 1:35 to play here in the 3rd quarter.
I think the 3 games over the short period of time, along with the fact that St. Anthony's gets out and pressures you so much, starting to take a little bit of toll on Middle Township.
And, of course, playing without Judy Shelton.
Yeah, exactly. You combine those 3 things, and that's how you end up with a 25-point spread.
Love it. Oh, what a ball fake by Justin Fredericks. He got his man up in the air. Billy Reese was on his back by the time that fake was finished off.
It's charged to number 22, Billy Reese.
Well, leapfrog on this one as he gets himself in. A pretty feed from Lovett. Nice ball fake. Unable to get the shot even off. He had him up so high. But a good shot fake. Anytime a fake can look like it's a shot, you're going to get people off the floor, and that's exactly what Fredericks did.
Here's Van Cathcart, number 41, into the game, replacing Billy Reese. Just over a minute left here in the 3rd quarter, and the Friars looking very good. A lot of people felt they wouldn't be that good this year when they lost Roderick Rhodes and playing for the Kentucky Wildcats. But Bob Hurley said we really didn't appreciate maybe some of our success, but we did after we'd lost, and we appreciate this 27-1 season and Parochial B championship. Nicely done by LaMarr Greer. Now, Tom Farraco says he's going to be a Big East or ACC player, and with moves like that, he very well could be.
Well, you name whatever level he wants to play at, he's going to be recruited by everybody. Great size for the position he plays, great court awareness, and he can score.
Curry now.
Not a bad combo. Huh?
That's right. That's right. Curry answering at the other end with 11 points, and now here's Greer. 15 left in the quarter. To a cutting O'Neal. Lays it off to Duncan McNeil. Can't make it. St. Anthony goes ahead of the pack. Cueto to Fredericks. It's good. And that's the way the third quarter will end. The Friars end to end, blowing out the Middle Township Panthers 64-37. We'll be back at the Meadowlands right after this. At the Meadowlands, fourth quarter just about ready to get underway. It's the St. Anthony Friars 64, the Middle Township Panthers 37. LaMarr Greer with 17 points. Big time move, Rob.
Pretty spin in the open floor, finishes it off with the left hand. He's been the whole story for Middle Township today.
And Cueto.
Head to Fredericks. Uses his body, tries to lean in, create a little contact, gets some, but gets the bucket to end the third.
Well, the bench points, 16 for the Friars, with Justin Fredericks making an impact, along with Billy Lovett and Lance Bethea. Middle Township with 6 points off the bench. And
so that field goal percentage up at 46% for Middle Township. Not too bad on a game, but then you consider that St. Anthony's is up at 58%, and then you compound it with the fact that they force so many turnovers. That's how you get the big disparity on the scoreboard.
Jason O'Neal can't knock it down. McLeod and Roberts back in for the Friars. That's McLeod missing. Duncan McNeil with the rebound for the Panthers.
That's a move that he was unable to make last year. Again, showing you the progress in his development over the past 12 months.
Row blocks, Billy Reese to Greer, cutting. Rebounded by Roshown McLeod. Head to the Friars, Carlos Cueto, quickly. Jalil Roberts, not the first time, not the second time. Cash it in, though. Roshown McLeod.
66-37.
McLeod now with 15 points. And the St. Anthony Friars, who won the Tournament of Champions title in '89 and '91.
It's an odd year thing, I guess, for them.
About to win it in '93. Billy Reese working inside. Reese now with 10 points. There's the reverse by Jalil Roberts.
Pretty move as he maneuvers along the baseline for his 11th point.
Well, Bob Hurley said he's the most valuable player of 3 different tournaments this year. And you can see why.
As I said in the open, he's their go-to guy also. When they're struggling and they need a hoop, he stepped up big.
Here's still by Curry on the baseline. Stefano Anderson, he's been quiet today. Roberts on the move. This is Curry in the paint. Jamar Curry for 2. Curry now with 13 points, and the Friars up 70-39.
A lot of balanced scoring for them.
Reese, short, tipped up once. Put back the second time by Duncan McNeil.
Nice play by McNeil. Batted it back up against the backboard to keep it alive, and then finished it off.
McNeil off the bench with 8 points for the Panthers. He's played well. 6'4" junior. Love it. Cloud, Curry, no good. From the baseline, tipped up. Roberts had a chance at Lovett's miss. Lovett is hammered, going to the basket.
A lot of guys going after that shot attempt.
Foul charge.
Here we see Lovett penetrating into the goal, gets whacked on the body from 2 sides. A couple people swatting at that one.
Replacing Jamar Curry and Carlos Cueto.
Well, Bob Hurley going to the bench now. Beginning to substitute with as Lovett makes the first of two, a 30-point lead.
We'll get some more people into the game. Get some of their younger players who, because of the success of this senior class, the 4 starters, don't see a whole lot of time, but throughout the season, especially in games when they've been able to play well and get the score up, those guys have gotten a lot of minutes in. For Middle Township also, a number of guys back next year. So Tom Faracco's club, which has been one of the better teams in South Jersey over the last 4 years, they'll continue that string next year.
Tom Faracco. We've got him here to the Tournament of Champions final. Duncan McNeil at the line. All the way for the Friars now, number 12, Ned Felton is in, 5'10" sophomore. And number 21, Michael Jordan, a 6'2" junior.
You mentioned Felton. Felton was for a while there during the year, the only sophomore up on the varsity. He was joined a little bit later on by Eugene Atkinson. Those two guys are part of a sophomore class that's terrific. And folks, I tell you what, there are 3 8th graders that are coming into St. Anthony's next year. They all play over at the Jersey City Boys Club for Gary Greenberg. As talented a group as they've had over the last few years, this group, although it's way too early to say something like that, that's almost Dick Vitalis with that. But I'm telling you, 3 8th graders, Roshown Burno, Anthony Perry, and Bernard Barrows. You remember those names, you're going to hear a lot out of those 3 guys over the next 4 years at St. Anthony's.
Well, Stefano Anderson, what a move. Counted and the foul. Here it is.
Said the open, he might be the best all-around athlete on the floor. Check out this play. The scoop around, a little windmill there, and he gets it off the glass.
So he'll attempt a 3-point play. Just 6 points tonight for Stefano Anderson, make it 7 off the 3-point play. Friars on the break. McLeod counted, and the foul goes on LaMarr Greer.
And he was fouled.
Let's talk about what this weekend has meant to Bob Hurley. Yesterday, he had to sit through a Seton Hall loss as the Pirates were upset by Western Kentucky. Danny Hurley, his son, a guard for the Pirates. Then he had to watch Duke get upset by California and see his older son Bobby's collegiate career come to an end. Talk about Black Saturday, as he put it. He said it's a good thing that we were able to beat Seton Hall Prep in the semifinals, or it might have been the worst basketball day in the history of the Hurley family.
And as much as basketball is a part of their family, would have been one of the toughest days probably ever for them. But St. Anthony's team played well in a tough win against Seton Hall Prep. And certainly the win here today will soften the blow a little bit for he and his family.
Sean McLeod on the bench now with 18 points and 12 rebounds. He's got a traveling violation for the Friars.
Mentioned a tough day for him. Also a tough day for his wife, Chris, who is at all the games, travels down to Duke by car. She's down there making 12-hour rides all over the place. She also keeps score at the St. Anthony's games. Truly the epitome of a coach's wife.
Greer's miss put up and in by Billy Reese, who now has a dozen, but this one's all over with St. Anthony leading 75-47. Roberts, not that time from 3-point range. Here's O'Neal, stops, pops, no good. Tipped up by Greer and rebounded by Jalil Roberts. Roberts, other way. Nice unselfish pass to Justin Fredericks.
Nice job by Fredericks to alter his shot just to be able to get it off.
Count the basket for LaMarr Greer. He'll go to the line to attempt a 3-point play.
Although it's been a tough afternoon for Middle Township, certainly LaMarr Greer showing you why he averaged a triple-double on the season. A pretty drive and a Even nicer move once he switched it over to his left hand to get the bucket.
Now Billy Lovett has just checked out as we see LaMarr Greer with 19 points. And Bob Hurley trying to make room on the bench for looking on the JVs and are moving closer to Coach Hurley so he can
looks like
talk things over with them.
Looks like a hockey team there. One line out, shuffle them up the bench.
Greer now with 20 points and 5 rebounds. And you're getting a look at some future Friars on the floor as Greer comes up with the steal and finishes it at the other end. LaMarr Greer playing hard now with 22 points.
Terrific performance out of him.
77-52.
He's done it all for them. Unfortunately, hasn't gotten a whole lot of help.
Jalil Roberts, the only starter remaining in the ball game for the Friars. He'll handle the ball now. This is Fredericks. Roberts for 3, short. Long rebound to Stefano Anderson. Tries to hook up with Greer. Oh, that one went in. That was one for the highlights, and there's the follow by Duncan McNeil. McNeil now with 11. It's 77-54. And 2 minutes and 15 seconds away from St. Anthony's third Tournament of Champions title. Jordan in the left wing. Oh, to Roberts, cutting and scoring.
Great cut and an even nicer feed from Fredericks. Recognizing the cutting Roberts with a little over-the-head pass from the post.
Jalil Roberts now with 13 points. Here's the lob. Greer, not that time, to Anderson. And now Randy Clark comes in. And he replaces Jalil Roberts. The senior, all done with his high school career. And it's off to Mad City, Wisconsin, Madison, Wisconsin, to play for the Badgers next year.
Part of an outstanding recruiting class led by the big 7-footer out of Chicago, King High School, Rashad Griffith. Not bad to be playing on the wing when you got a 7-footer in there to help you out. Part of the rebuilding process out there for the former New York Knicks coach, Stu Jackson.
Jermaine Robinson and 23, Dwayne Holmes are in the game.
At the line, it's Justin Fredericks.
33, Eugene Atkinson. Also in the game for St. Anthony's.
Fredericks can't make the first. Dwayne Holmes is in. Randy Clark. Oh, Fredericks. There's Chris Hurley.
Working hard.
Dutifully noted that free throw made. And tough being a mom when you get 2 players in Division I basketball and they both get upset on the same day. But this will take away a little bit of the sting as the Friars. There's Stefano Anderson.
That's 3 by Stefano Anderson.
He's got 10 points, but it's all meaningless at this point. Inside move, pumps once, twice. That's Randy Clark. Laying up and in. Justin Fredericks, the junior, with a good effort off the bench. 12 points for Fredericks. O'Neal picking up the turnover. Well,
the other way.
It's usually Greer to Anderson. That time it was Anderson to Greer, no good, but Anderson on the follow. He's got a dozen. And we've got just 25 seconds left in our boys Tournament of Champions final. The St. Anthony Friars, who've won 12 parochial B titles since 1980, about to improve to 28-1. From the baseline, O'Neal, no. And ahead of the field, Dwayne Holmes, no. But Bob Hurley and the St. Anthony Friars have won their 3rd Tournament of Champions title, defeating the Middletown Panthers 84-59. We'll take a break and come back with the trophy presentation here on NJN. Back at the Meadowlands, the St. Anthony Friars with an 84-59 win over Middle Township. Bob Hurley and the Friars, their third Tournament of Champions crown. Tom Faracco, head coach of Middle Township, the Panthers, accepting the runner-up trophy. And even though you hate to end the season on a loss, it's been a great season for Middle Township. Their first ever state title, and they made it all the way to the boys' Tournament of Champions game. There's a kiss for a job well done. Bob Hurley, his wife Chris. Danny, somewhere here amongst the crowd.
Presentation of the state championship trophy.
And now the state championship trophy to be presented by Dr. James Riccobono and Jerry Greco, the senior vice president of First Fidelity Bank.
Bob Hurley.
And Bob Hurley knows how to make this walk out to collect the trophy along with his St. Anthony Friars. Hurley, who won the first ever Tournament of Champions when son Bobby was at the point, lost the following year to Elizabeth and Luther Wright. And Candelino and company winning the second. Then the Friars winning the third TFC in 1991 with Danny Hurley, a big factor that year. And Chris Hurley getting a chance to enjoy the moment today. There haven't been many moments this weekend with the Bobby and Danny being eliminated from the NCAA tournament, but right now the St. Anthony Friars have won their third Tournament of Champions crown with a 84-59 win over Middle Township. And now we await the most valuable player.
Jerome Greco, Senior Vice President, Director of Public Affairs.
Jalil Roberts with 13 points. Roshown McLeod with 18 points and 12 rebounds.
12 rebounds.
And the winner is
Roshown McLeod.
senior Roshown McLeod. 18 points, 12 rebounds. And he collects a little hardware before he heads off to St. John's.
And he was the key in the first half. Inside, 13 of those 18 points in the first half. He was no match. Once they were able to get him the ball in the low post, it was over.
So Jalil Roberts with his 13, but Roshown McLeod, the other senior, we talked about the two of them at the top of the broadcast. Senior leadership, very important. And they take the TSC championship. We'll be back with a post-game interview right after this. You're watching NJN, the New Jersey channel. Welcome back to NJN's coverage of the Tournament of Champions. The man who's now won the TFC 3 times, Bob Hurley of the St. Anthony Friars. And Bob, really everything you were looking for today with Jalil Roberts, Roshown McLeod. And, you know, you told me yesterday Halim Abdullah not expected to score points, but, boy, he shot the ball well today.
That's high school basketball. You know, we couldn't put the ball in the ocean yesterday when we were left alone. And we told the kids today, just go out and relax. Last game of the season, guys get shots, just shoot them. We don't care, you know, but play hard on defense. And we had some great performances today.
Although you played well, this win really started almost last year. We talked about it this summer up at camp and different things, how once you had lost, all of a sudden you didn't take for granted all that success you had. You refocused, and this group of seniors, those 4 guys did a terrific job.
Yeah, I think we got together last April, and we didn't like the way our season had ended. We decided, Rob, that we were going to go out, lift weights, work harder than we have had done previously, and the senior class was tremendous. You know, the kids I'm losing, in addition to being good players, are wonderful kids. I'm really going to miss them, and my relationship with these kids this year has been special.
Well, you know, Bob, you're going to miss Roshown McLeod, and we've got a shot of him taking the MVP honors, of course. 18 points, 12 rebounds, and he really got inside and did things well for you, as he has done all season long.
Yeah, he has developed tremendously as a player. You know, what you see now is the early stages of a kid who could have a great college career. He's a late starter, and he's a young senior, and we think he's going to be a great player at St. John's.
Now, this is as the game ended, and the St. Anthony Friars were able to win their third Tournament of Champions title, with a win over Middle Township, 84-59. Bob, does this take away any of the sting you felt yesterday with Bobby and Danny both being knocked out of the tournament?
Not really. This was a nice Sunday, but I don't know how, yesterday was an extremely difficult day for us, When Seton Hall lost, we were in mourning, and then to suffer through the Duke game was a very tough day for us. And Danny was able to come to the game today, and with John Leahy, who had played with Middle Township, so we got a chance to talk to them. And Bobby and I have been on the phone 3 times. I know he's very, very disappointed in the way things turned out, but today was a wonderful Sunday.
Very good. Well, Bob, congratulations to your St. Anthony Friars winning the 1993 Tournament of Champions over Middle Township by a final score of 84-59. And so, for Rob Kennedy, I'm Pat Scanlon. So long, everybody.